Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another live stream recording of Hearthstone. Today is Cyber Monday, November 27th. I personally haven't seen any real Cyber Monday deals. We need to play more warrior class cards in our 25, so that's what we'll be doing. We're playing ranked just so we get the ranked wins when we get them, but that's pretty much all. We're going through the news, and then after the stream I will get back to playing Rise of the Tomb Raider for a second time, because I played the first 14% of the game once and then had to do it again. Let me know if the audio sounds too loud, either in the game audio or the voice, as far as the balance of the two, or if just in general everything's too loud or too quiet. I had to change the audio again, and I'm hoping this is fine. In a kind of weird way, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds has been having this issue where there weren't enough Chinese servers, and the Chinese people were getting an advantage, or found out they could get an advantage if they VPN'd to American servers. It would create more lag, and if your connection was laggier, you had a higher chance of winning shots for a slightly complicated reason. And so the Chinese weren't very happy with PUBG, and PUBG's still very much in beta, and there's a lot of unfinished elements that they're still working on. And because they didn't finish that quickly, and because PUBG isn't that unique of a game, and even I think the PlayerUnknown knows that, a game called Europa has been allowed to appear, and from the Chinese company Tencent. And Tencent, of course, is a company that owns, I believe, Epic and League of Legends. And they've made their own battle royale game with destructible environments. And I'll watch the trailer and see if I can give any more information about it. Now, there is an issue here that in this case I wouldn't make this claim, but often it is the claim that countries particularly Russia and China, I know of, have this tendency to block or disallow foreign companies, whether they're American companies or some other company, from allowing their games to be in their country until some local company has a competition and has already taken over the market. In fact, there's, I believe, right now in Russia, an instance where they're trying to shut down, I think, McDonald's or Burger King in favor of the other. I think they're trying to shut down McDonald's in favor of Burger King, because the Burger King in Russia is owned by Russian oligarchs, and the McDonald's is not. And it's currency manipulation, it's market manipulation. It happens in a lot of countries. The United States, sadly, at least pretends like it believes in a free market, except for in things like net neutrality. And so we don't do as much of that. We probably still do a lot of it, though, if we're just going to be honest. Particularly in government contracts. Job done. So this game here, Europa, looks good, and frankly, it looks probably, in this trailer, it looks better than PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. The only thing I'm seeing, though, is it seems like it's very empty right now in this trailer. I've only seen one or two other people on the screen at any point, but the environment is there. So I wouldn't be surprised if more people move over to Europa. It's it looks better. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a lot of people jump from one Battle Royale game to the next Battle Royale game very quickly.
What
with
now?
little concern. This doesn't trigger the death rattles of weapons. Interesting. That's an interesting thing to do. I think I already watched this trailer for Black Mirror, so I don't really any reason to watch it again. They said this was a gameplay trailer, and no, this isn't. Not really. Black Mirror, the remake of Black Mirror, is coming out tomorrow, so that'll be interesting. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I probably won't go to a third episode at this rate. It's a Monday after a holiday, Cyber Monday, so I guess I could probably make an excuse as far as why nobody's on the chat today. But I just think in general I can expect a light viewing for a while, for probably till New Year. Just people are gonna get busy. Somebody did subscribe yesterday out of the blue, and I want to see more of that, just random subscriptions, because that tells me that the YouTube algorithm is showing things to people when I'm just putting out the pre-recorded footage, and I don't have to live stream every single like every single day to get any attention at all. Job's done. Let's see. There's a game called Perfect Date that's gonna come out next month. It's kind of almost like a children's book style of animation. And it's not a style of animation that I usually categorize things as, but it does look closest to that. It's a cat dating simulator in the vein, I imagine, of How to Fill a Boyfriend. So, if you are so bored with the regular dating simulator games that you need a cat one, or if you have a very odd fetish for dating a cat, this, I imagine, would be the game for you.
Strike!
It's described as a surreal adventure in which the player's human character gets to date cats on a mysterious island. It's coming out on PC via Steam December 15th. You'll almost certainly see a few live streamers cover this for a short amount of time.
My magic will tear you apart.
The animation in the trailer looks different than the screenshot. It's a little different. But yeah, this seems like this is gonna be a total joke of a game, though. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's really, really short and really expensive for what you get on it. And I really don't have an interest in it. Rovio shares have fallen 20% because of rising user acquisition cost. Rovio is the company that sells and makes Angry Birds, and they're having to spend more and more money to get new players to play the game. Probably because the games aren't super fun or super interesting in the first place, and Also because there's just a ton of competition now. In all honesty, Angry Birds was interesting for about 5 minutes when it first came out and there wasn't a lot of competition. But now, like, there's no reason why I'd want to play new Angry Birds. There's no reason why I want to play new Angry Birds. It was definitely a fad. Yeah, there's not a lot you can do. Much like this. Do this final 10 damage. Rovio probably will get sold 1 or 2 more times and then disbanded. It's not like they succeeded to have a follow-up to Angry Birds and the next big hit. It doesn't feel like it's a company that full of great geniuses as far as video game developers.
Who you want me kill?
Destiny 2 fans have found out that there's a new XP issue, and Bungie is trying to calm a growing unrest. Apparently, the XP needed to level up was doubled secretly in the background, but you progress a little faster by getting more XP. So, in the background, Bungie was making changes, trying to get Destiny to be something people want to play consistently, and they're really failing at that more than anything else. People do sometimes want to do the new raid and the new content in Destiny 2, but unlike PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, there's no reason that I've heard from people to consistently play every night Destiny, and it's just not a great experience. For me, as a person who doesn't like to play MMOs, which is basically what this is, I would prefer it just all go single player. Re-release Destiny 1 as a single player experience where I can play and just have some AI bots follow me and help me throughout the gameplay, and I would be happy with that. But that's not the market that they're even trying to reach. So personally, I'd never played Destiny, but I don't see a lot of people who do want to play a game like Destiny wanting to play Destiny 2. Part of the problem certainly stems from them making a promise they could not keep, which was that Destiny 1 was a 10-year plan, and that game was going to stay in development and get updates for 10 years, and they totally changed their mind on that after a very few number of years. Also, Destiny 1 was not much of a game. It didn't have that many maps compared to what it seemed like it was promising. Let's see. Saint Seiya Cosmos Fantasy is now available in the West. Saint Seiya is a sort of lesser known fighting anime manga. So
we're gonna be rich.
So it's characters that represent the Zodiac. And it seems like they're being teamed up in this game as like an RPG, maybe even a card battler thing. You would think they would put this in a fighting game, but it's not. It seems like it's a card battle. it's another long-running anime. It's available for iOS and Google Play. Oh, it is a card battling game, isn't it? It's a smartphone game. Man, that kind of sucks because if there was a Saint Seiya game on Steam, which maybe there is, I'll have to go look. That might be another thing to play. Like if I was gonna play a Dragon Ball Z game on Steam, which almost certainly there is at least one, it would be hard to figure out which one to play and how far to go with it. I would hopefully try to find one that covered all of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and as far as they've gotten in Dragon Ball GT or Super, which continues the story. And hopefully it would just have a story mode that I could refresh myself on that long-running series that doesn't have much. Dragon Ball in particular is a series that when very little happens in lots of sections, like an entire season takes place in 5 minutes.
I have an action.
So telling it in a video game form, storyline-wise, could speed up the process and be interesting. There's a report out there, and I believe this is pretty much confirmed, that the Marvel Heroes developer Gazillion has shut down and laid off its entire workforce the day before Thanksgiving, and they didn't pay them any of their paid severance or paid time off, so there should be lawsuits at that point. So apparently Gazillion was struggling for a long time, and something caused Disney/Marvel to sever ties with the company, and at that point they completely just shuttered.
Someday I'll be just like you!
One would have hoped that people would have seen this coming, but you know, it's really hard to find a job even in the video game industry. Lots of people have come out since hearing that the show is shut down, saying that we might hire you. But if you found out, say, a month before Thanksgiving that you may lose your job, there's a very high chance that you would not succeed or be able to get a different job. Particularly in the video game industry, if you're crunching and working very hard, you're just not going to have any free time to be able to take interviews or phone calls. So, yeah, that's a really bad situation. We don't see a lot of that, though. You don't see a lot of that in the game industry where companies just shut down specifically right before Thanksgiving or Christmas. They tend to have enough money to at least hold out and shut down in a random month. But yeah, this was a pretty slimy way to do it. This guy's not taking the victory, so that'll allow me just to play more cards. There's a Kickstarter game out called A Minute in Power, a game of social skills and nice frocks. And so it's Victorian people. Let's see if I can click on the link and see more, because all I have right now is, let's see. You play as Yvette, a woman in the pre-revolution France, using your guile and seduction to advance her position in a time of intrigue, danger, and serial adultery. And here's the link. It's got 20 days to go, and it won $60,000, which is not enough to finish a game, but it has $33,000 already promised.
The seas belong to us.
It is animated very nicely, and they're starting with a cutscene of her walking to the gallows to get her head chopped off. 460 backers, 19 days to go. And honestly, the cutscenes here look good. Maybe a little too good, because now I'm looking at what looks like the game, and you're clicking on a calendar and you're playing cards in a timed card thing. Alright, maybe not. Like, it seems like there's a couple different interfaces in this. Different outputs for the game. Like the character you're playing as. At the very least, I will have to say this cutscene is... this Kickstarter game is fully animated. It looks good. It looks like a professionally designed game. And for that reason, I can understand why people would want to back it. It is slightly playing on lewdness, which has certainly gotten a lot of Kickstarter games kickstarted, but hasn't had a lot of them actually made, which is slightly a problem. Let's...
I will burn this world and rule its ashes.
It'd be nice if this guy had some
well played
previous work experience, but he certainly could animate this. Honestly, even if this failed as a game, you could probably turn around and turn it into a cartoon or a movie. Let's see, the team is comprised of passionate people who have a combined 32 years of professional game industry experience. And let's see if I can recognize any of these people. No, I don't, but you know, if they get to $80,000 as a stretch goal, they'll hire an additional artist. And if they get to $90,000, they'll add a second character. This one's probably one to watch. Ever since I've started covering Kickstarter games, like, every now and then you see one that actually does look good. I still have 12 warrior cards to play. I don't really have a great lineup of cards. Let's come over to weapon and just see if weapon plays more. The PlayStation 4 game Diabolic Lovers has been renamed Diabolic Lovers Grand Edition, which includes both of the Diabolic Lovers titles that were, I think, released probably on Rydo. Yeah, I think I've already talked about this game, as much as Gametsu talks about it and gives you actual details. Let's take this and this. Steam hit 17.5 million concurrent users 2 days ago. Its best day ever. Why there's so many users? Probably because it was Black Friday. Which really just goes to show they totally dropped the ball, because there was an awful Black Friday sale. So I don't know if people actually spent money on it, or if they just went to the site, played some games because they had the day off, and that's all they did. I will look forward to seeing if if any statistics come out talking about how good their sales actually were that day. Let's see. A game called Super Mighty Power Man has canceled its Kickstarter, but then it says its publishers are interested. Developer tells fans the game will get funded and published at some point. Which, this instance really feels just more like a lie. It's like the Kickstarter wasn't succeeding and they didn't want to admit that to themselves or to the world, so they just said, yeah, some publishers are interested. Like, you don't cancel your Kickstarter because they're interested, you cancel your Kickstarter because you got a contract signed. This game looks like a attempt at doing something slightly interesting in Mega Man style genre, but you get different power suits, and I assume you would get those power suits by beating the bosses. And it very much looks like a modern take on an old NES Mega Man game.
Try this.
Yeah, they're really. This should have gotten kickstarted, but it didn't. The campaign raised £13,000 out of £50,000, so it was asking for nearly $100,000 US dollars, and the 10 days that it was live, and that probably is the issue with it. It probably should have gotten the funding, but there just wasn't enough people out there. There's not enough money to go around for these Kickstarters, and there's just too much craziness. So, like, honestly, I would like to see Super Mighty Power Man come out at some point. So I hope somebody does finance it, but it doesn't seem like it. There's a game called Nihon's Falcom's RPG. No, I bet Nihon Falcom is the company. Every time they do this to me. Let's see. Let's go ahead and
Job's done.
The company's probably Nihon Falcoms, and it's an RPG called Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. It's coming to PC next month. Let's watch the trailer. This one, if I was to guess, just from the name and from a single screenshot, I think it has you running around Japan or some Japanese city, maybe not actually Japan, fighting monsters. Yes, here's the trailer showing a monster. And let's see. The monsters knocked a girl into a different dimension, and then it's an action RPG with only one character, so it doesn't seem like there's a team-based element. So very actiony, and the more action games like this, okay, so there's a girl and a guy, so just a team of two. Fewer characters, the better, honestly, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's a revamped version of the 2015 PlayStation Vita action RPG. In a lot of ways, I suppose the Vita is going to now prove to have been this genius test bed where RPGs and Japanese style games get tested to see which are the best, and then the best are going to come out in remastered forms for the bigger console. Now, I don't think you really need to do that these days, but maybe in the old days you did. Because you could make cheaper graphics, less detailed graphics on a Vita game and not have to do as much animating. Nowadays, I bet the cost to animate something that looks really good versus the cost to animate something that doesn't look that good is not significantly different. I still have 9 weapons to play. According to PC Gamer, and I don't know where they get this number for. It's a news report from a market research firm called Superdata that they're getting their information. Revenue from PC free-to-play microtransactions has doubled since 2012. So in the past 5 years, it has doubled. That's believable. It's definitely believable because free-to-play microtransactions, particularly on the PC side, not super popular 5 years ago. Barely even that popular now. Just things like Overwatch and Hearthstone is a good example of free-to-play games. Although Overwatch isn't a free-to-play game, so that wouldn't even count. But Hearthstone's a good example. Hearthstone's free-to-play, but every time you buy a pack, you're purchasing a microtransaction.
Job done.
So hopefully, though, we start to see that trend go the other direction. I don't want the video game industry full of free-to-play microtransaction-filled games. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked well for the consumer at all. It hasn't led to better games. Rock Paper Shotgun has an article on where Square Enix talks about the reasons they dropped Hitman Studio IO. In a lot of ways, I suppose Square Enix getting rid of dropping IO and letting it go independent, for me, is looked as a very good thing. And it seemed like they were able to survive pretty well there. Square Enix is too big of a company. When you see what, like, Crystal Dynamics making Tomb Raider, since I'm playing Rise of the Tomb Raider right now, when you see that they're almost certainly getting orders from upper management to put in multiplayer and put in microtransaction DLCs elements, it really hurts what they could have made, and the actual storyline game of Rise of the Tomb Raider up until the point I've played has not been good. It feels like it's been lazily copied and pasted from the reboot of Tomb Raider, and in many sections feel like direct copy and paste of area and level layout. The animations aren't great. I've seen instances where where she reaches out to put her hand on the rock on the wall, and instead of touching the rock on the wall, her hand is just magically hovering several inches away from it. And that was stuff that worked in the previous game, and they were delayed in the release of Rise of the Tomb Raider 2, so they had extra time and they still didn't get it done right.
Give me a quest.
And I think upper management interference probably played a major role in that. But I can't prove it. I don't particularly want to read this article. Square Enix is also only really focused on Japanese games at this point, so there's not a lot that can be done if you're not making a Japanese focused game. Which is fine. I guess they understand that a little bit better. See, I might be close to I might be close to having seen all of the articles. Which means we'll probably just show off what needs to be done for the European and Asian accounts. And we'll just move into post-show play. Because there's... Mondays are never the greatest days to... get news or anything from. So this isn't particularly video game related, but it's YouTube related. There's been this whole Elsa Gate stuff, which, as best as people can figure now, I thought it was just trolling and memes on memes, but I saw some videos that also suspect that it started maybe as trolling and memes on memes, and then just the evolution of joke memes happening. It seems like also some companies have gotten into making the videos to try to game the YouTube system, and Susan Wojcicki, I think that's her name, the CEO of YouTube, has come out and said that they've taken notice and they're going to try and fix this. One of the elements that's kind of unbelievable about the Elsa Gate videos is it seems like they are content ID approved, and so if you try to re-upload any footage of these Elsa Gate crazy kids games, kids videos that aren't age kid appropriate, they get blocked by other companies via the content ID system, which means theoretically, if YouTube was paying attention, they're literally working hand in hand with these people that are doing something that is rather inappropriate. I would also put out my own personal theory that they very well, Elsa Gate videos might be just part of some entity, whether it's a government or just a troll group's attempt to pervert / confuse and disturb the youth of the world. So yeah, it's a real bad problem, and they need to fix it a lot quicker. But they're saying they're gonna do some stuff. They're gonna do tougher application of community guidelines and faster enforcement through technology. So they're going to use a AI black box to do tougher enforcements of not child friendly. Therefore, it's going to be demonetized. We've also have strict policies against child endangerment. We partner closely with authorities and experts to policies and report to law enforcement. Which, okay, sure, I'm sure you do some of that. You do. They're removing ad from inappropriate videos targeting families. So all the demonetization that's harassing all the other YouTubers who are not doing this is now what they're saying is going to fix the Elsa Gate stuff, which isn't true, because I've seen people say and make videos showing how the Elsa Gate videos are getting ads on them, and even if they're not getting ads on them, that doesn't solve the problem, which is they shouldn't be showing up in front of anybody, and they shouldn't be on YouTube at all. Blocking inappropriate comments on videos featuring minors. So they're just going to start blocking chat comments, which is a new thing. Providing guidance for creators to make family-friendly content. Well, guidance isn't going to mean anything when the people are intentionally doing something nefarious. And engaging and learning from experts, that's a bunch of BS. So, actually, this was from Johanna Wright, Vice President of Product Management Team. So, it's just a total load of BS. And the funny thing is, it would be so easy to specifically block the Elsagate videos, because all you have to do is look for the keywords that they keep manipulating. If it has Elsa in the name, block it. Or send it to an AI and see if it's some other character named Elsa. Like, honestly, there's very little on YouTube that should have Elsa in the name at all. Because Disney doesn't want Elsa showing up on videos, and nobody else does either. Personally, for me, the Elsagate is just another one of those distractions that we don't need YouTube to have to deal with, and they need to act swiftly and get it done with, and just be like, and destroy it as a potential thing that can even be done so extremely quickly that it isn't even a concern after a day. It should have been a day. Like, as soon as it was reported, nobody should have been able to make any more videos or reports about it, because the YouTube should have been able to fix it, or at least made major steps. The Half-Life mod Black Mesa's Zen levels are delayed again. I think we already talked about it, but there are some new stability tweaks that they're releasing. Like I said, Cyber Monday deals, not a lot for me. Probably a lot for other people if you're in the market for TVs, if you're in the market for specific video cards, specific computer components. There's some things that could have been done. If you're in the market for headsets or routers. But a lot of the things that are on sale, particularly for electronic components, are not things I'd want to, not things that I would have specifically picked. And when it comes to computer parts, I'm kind of picky. Like, I wouldn't want to just get a random video card. I want to get the video card that I know and trust by name brand, because I kind of have some loyalty, particularly the Gigabyte, because they've worked well for me. Maybe it hasn't worked well for other people, but it's worked well for me. UK broadband firms must stop using misleading speed advertisements as a ruling body. It's thought only 10% of the customers hit the top advertised speeds. So, there's some more elements of net neutrality rearing its head. If there is competition in net neutrality, then you'll start seeing that people will shop around and try to get better deals, and they'll eventually get better service from that element. Give my weapon
Settle the shit.
moderators. Bungie admitted it had a hindering scaling system in Destiny 2 and turned it off. I think that was their first tweak to the system, but then they turned it back on. I didn't follow that story very well because I don't care about Destiny. And I know it's a Humble Bundle store, and there's no new Humble sale. But I have been getting a lot of news emails from Fanatical, but I have not yet thought for a second that I wanted to go over to Fanatical. It seems like they're completely mishandling the idea of buying a company and splitting off the store elements. I mean, it certainly would be a hard thing to do to convince people to move over to the new store. That's probably why you shouldn't have done it. IGN shouldn't have done it. They should have just kept Humble Bundle called Humble Bundle and let it continue as it was.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
You know, take candle.
Now I'm scrolling through my Twitter to see. A new organization called the National Committee for Games Policy aims to influence policy on loot boxes. So this is how stupid the United States has to work. If you want to get anything done, you have to start a lobbyist group and effectively threaten or bribe a politician to make laws to protect the consumer, the people that elected them. See, Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap developers reveal how to unlock the game developers. Read more about that. Destiny 2's trial version goes live tomorrow amidst all of their problems. Interesting. Let's see. I should have played this. Darn it. Did I play enough cards? Blizzard is making some changes to Overwatch contenders for 2018, which I imagine that's for like a world championship. There we go, we got it done. Prison Architect Escape Mode is coming to console next year. So we don't need to trade to do this. We'll save that for Wednesday. Let's see what we need to do on the European server. Ubisoft has released a new music exploration adventure called Ode. Just out of the blue? Really?
Come in. Tonight,
to quote Jim Sterling, oh Ubisoft. Everything is gonna be okay is about the circus performance of being alright. Okay, that's weird. Let's see. Now I need to trade something here. So the thing to trade is this. And so more Warlock cards and more spell cards need to be done for the European account, which we'll do in the post show. And let's look at the Asian account. Nominations for the Steam Awards in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Let's see. I don't think I actually need to talk about any of the news. A Neo Complete Edition is getting mouse and keyboard support and key bindings this week. More spotlights of games I got free are coming out. Like we're in the heavy part where we're going through all the spotlights, and yeah, that's all the news. So yeah, none of those articles particularly need to be covered right now, so we'll just save them for tomorrow, Wednesday. Let's see. Here, I trade these out. Wednesday I'll also have tavern brawls to do. That'll be back. So yeah, I need to play 5 games with the Rogue and Warrior and play 50 Paladin class cards. So that's gonna be it for the talking portion of this live stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.